Hey guys, guess what? We're still doing this,
Are we?
evidently.
Fuck.
It hasn't stopped yet, we're not on Crash 4 yet, in fact far from it. This is Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, released in 1998 for the PlayStation 1. And this added so much to the Crash series.
The crap series.
Well, depending on your preference.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be playing this today. Once again, playing it on official disc for the first time ever.
Well, official disc, dude.
Yeah, but no,
Can't believe it.
no bootlegs here.
The disc is slightly different, so therefore is better.
Look at all those vehicles.
Wow.
We'll be using them in a second.
See, look at that. It's a 3.
Crash Warped, baby.
Crash Bandicoot.
Alright, so what's the story this time?
Let's find out.
Well, once you get the 100% ending on Crash 2, the spaceship plummets back to Earth. See, that's Australia.
Yeah, there it is.
Right there.
It crashes off
And coincidentally lands
in
on
New
the
Zealand.
tomb, the prison of Uka Uka.
Well, that's convenient.
His introduction to the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Aku Aku's evil twin brother.
Guys, we need something new for the Crash franchise.
We need to go into the lore of how these masks reproduce.
Look, we need... Oh. I'd rather not. He looks so... Oh. That is the most... Oh, that is the most upsetness.
He's so upset.
Jeez.
Look at him.
Come on, Crash Banooka.
This way! And this is also where we learn that for the last 2 games, Uka Uka has been giving Cortex his orders the entire time. So Cortex has been working for this guy.
So he's not a smart man. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
An
But he's
underling.
smart. He still worked out how to do all this stuff. He was just like, take over the world, Cortex. And Cortex said, okay, I'll make mutant armies. And Uka Uka was like, no, wait, there are these things called mutant armies!
Mutant arm. And he's also he's got the red ring of doom.
Yep. This is... Crash Warp's predicted Microsoft.
Technically, it's called the red ring of death. I just remembered.
Well, we still got the joke. Oh,
Who is this
also-
in the background?
Oh,
Can
the
you see
silhouette.
him?
Look at him.
You can
He's
see him.
chugging away.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
So we're playing this...
Oh, he coming.
Oh, I suppose I'll get to this in a sec.
Yeah, I want to see him
You're
coming.
too enthralled with the cutscene.
Oh my god.
Who is it?
Who's it gonna be? Oh,
Smurf.
oh.
Smurf.
It's Samuel Murph.
Sam Murph.
Sam Murph.
Alright. So, we're playing this on a PS2 bulky.
Yeah.
The original PS2
That
hardware,
is the
I believe.
technical term.
My friend of Slom's Kitchen.
What?
Yes, that's the name of his channel, Slom's
Oh,
Kitchen.
Okay.
Loaned me his PS2 for the remainder of the marathon, in which we need to get the PS2 to play games, which is the majority of the marathon, until right at the end and intermittently throughout. I'll be linking his channel because he's a good boy and he's got good shit coming up in the pipeline. He likewise has been gathering the materials to make good content in the last couple of months or so, and he's got big things coming. I'd subscribe to him if I were you.
Wow.
So, the plot of this game is we're trying to gather the crystals from Crash 2, but in their original places in time before the villains have a chance to nab them. So, by the end of this game, we will have erased Crash 2 from the timeline, because, paradoxically, it could never have happened.
Well, technically, the events still happen. It just means that, you know.
Well, depending on what time travel laws you're going by.
Well, they already happened.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going back in time,
Yep.
that would cancel it out in Crash 2.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But I mean, Crash 2 still happened, and there was no point where like the crystals weren't there in Crash 2, so that means the events of Crash 2 still happened.
It just means that after this game, they took the crystals back
Yeah.
in an end game approach.
Yeah.
To return the Infinity Stones. Alright, so Toad Village.
But what I mean is like, you know how in like time travel stuff,
Mhm.
like even if they don't do the thing of going back in time yet,
Yeah.
in the past,
Ah.
they're there already.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we would have seen Crash, like those crystals we would have seen those crystals not be there in Crash 2 if that were the case.
So this game had a few quality of life improvements. These bouncy boxes now give you 2 Wumpa Fruit instead of 1 on each bounce, which just makes things so much easier. I talked about in
In
Crash...
what way?
Well, you don't have to waste so much time bouncing on them.
Oh.
I talked a bit... Hang on, first of all. New crate type.
Oh, of course.
The slot machine crate. Gambling, kids.
Hardly.
Now, I talked in the Crash 2 playthrough about how there are certain things in this game that I don't believe are matched by Crash 2. I think that this game, I think, has a couple of problems with it that make Crash 2 better than it, and we'll be getting to them as they come up, essentially.
Okay.
But for now, we're just doing our regular Crash business. We're getting the bonus round as we have been.
We're doing our regular Crash business where you talk a lot about Crash, and when it comes to Crash, I don't say anything of value.
You're allowed to comment if you have anything to say.
Oh wow, look, he box. And then he jump on other box. Incredible.
Never mind, I was wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember this bonus level distinctly because of the castle.
Well, look, when you end up doing your Half-Life marathon,
Absolutely.
I'll sit in and have nothing to say about Half-Life.
Yeah, and I'll show you why it should be respected.
I respect it. It doesn't interest me personally. Yet, I might play it at some point, but
they're really good.
But there's a Crash game.
They're really good.
But there's a new Crash game coming out in less than 2 months, and I want to play these games first.
See, you don't have to have the pain that I do.
What's that?
Which is, you wait. The last game in the series ends on a cliffhanger, right? And then they announce they're going to be making a new game in the series, and it's a VR-only title.
Sorry, you want to talk about not knowing the pain? I had to wait 8 years for any kind of new game after 2008.
Yeah, how about 13 years for Half-Life Alyx?
You got spin-offs in between.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Well, you got other games by the same developers.
The last official Half-Life game was Half-Life Episode 2, which came out in, like, 2007.
What about Hunt Down the Freeman?
That's not official. That wasn't made by Valve, and it's garbage.
Well, now you know how I felt about the Titans games.
It's not the same thing. Hunt Down the Freeman's a fan game. It wasn't officially licensed.
Under pressure!
Pushing down on me.
This is where we get our first vehicle segment of the game. We get to swim!
Oh my goodness.
Crash obviously took Candidate 6 swimming classes.
Candidate 6?
Candidate 6.
What's that?
Primary school swimming classes.
Oh.
Outside of school.
Right.
You must have skipped that.
No, I just didn't know what you said. It just sounded like nonsense. And like Candidate 6, I'm like, what?
So you can tap the X button to do a little kick. Move quicker. Square acts as always, you spin. So a lot of people, some people really despise the vehicle segments in this game. I think they're fine enough breaks from the action.
At least they're trying to do something different.
Yeah, and they're adding something new to the series. What I will say about the swimming levels is that they tend to be just as long as the platforming levels.
Right.
And you move a lot slower, which I think is where...
Oh, you mean in terms of like level geometry? Length.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because with the bear riding or tiger riding segments, they're demonstrably shorter than the platforming levels, as are the plane levels, as are the motorbike levels. The jet ski levels, I think, are energetic enough that it gets away with it, even though those levels can be long. But the swimming levels, you move very slowly, and they last a long time. But now we get our jet ski, which I always thought was a fish.
Well, is it a jet ski? It's more of like a...
Little mini submersible.
Yeah. A little submersible.
Listen to my control. Oh, this is when they introduced vibration.
Can you hear that, audience?
I'll stop pressing buttons. What? Did I stop pressing buttons? It moves automatically?
I think that was just momentum carried from...
Maybe.
You're moving. Like, stop moving?
I'll have to watch that back. Hang on.
I think it's just momentum.
No, look at that. It's picking up speed. So this
It cannot be stopped.
This fish, I'm just going to keep calling it the fish. Damn it. It has the power to blow away coral, which reveals boxes, but if you lose it, those boxes are cut off from the rest of the game for you. So you got to keep it alive.
Hang on, Crash's hand just went through the floor there. That's impossible.
Oh no.
This game's bad.
What bad game? Actually, this game is really hated by the speedrunning community.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with them just straight up calling it a bad game in general.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of them don't even add the subtitle, which I think that they should... see, that's the thing that gets me, because like when speedrunners say this game is a bad game, they so oftentimes don't even say for speed running, which I think is what they mean. And if it's not what they mean, then they're wrong, because this game is very, very fun.
I think it's implied when they're discussing, when they say that and they start discussing how it relates to speedrunning, sort of thing.
Yeah, I suppose. It's sort of like how everyone's like, Brawl's a bad game, competitively, but they never say competitively, because like casually Brawl is fine.
Well, they might say competitively, but I get what you mean.
They'd never say competitively.
Are you sure you want to go on record saying that?
Yep. I mean, it's obviously worse competitively than Melee, but when people criticize Brawl and say it's bad, they never add the qualifier that casually and from a single player perspective, it's one of the best Smash games in the franchise.
Citation needed on that one, folks.
Watch any bloody... I'm not going to get into it.
My point is, using a word like nobody is like a very general term.
We've got a new playable character, folks.
You can't just do this every time we start to have a debate about something and go, hey, look, we can swim now, or look, we're going on the big wall.
I'm trying to mention these things before they disappear, and I've missed my chance to talk about them for the audience.
But they'll come up still.
So Coco gets to ride Pura on the Great Wall of China. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned, the time travel theme means that we're obviously visiting different time periods. So the first level was medieval England. The second level doesn't really have a time period attached to it. It's meant to be Atlantis, but that's sort of time zone, like doesn't have to be time travel. This is the Great Wall of China, which you would think is also non-time zone dependent, but it's clearly under construction.
Yeah.
So there's a little gotcha there. And we'll be going into the different other time periods as the game goes on, and we encounter new ones. Whoops. But there is a lot of people think that the time travel thing was added last minute. Ah, damn it. Kill me.
Okay.
And because there are certain levels, like the swimming ones that don't really seem to have a time period attached, I don't care either way. Honestly, I couldn't care less if it was added last minute or not. It's cool, so it's a useless debate that you shouldn't have.
Well, you can have it.
I mean, it doesn't add anything to the conversation, but...
I mean, it does if you're talking about the history of this game.
Yeah, but I mean, there is no evidence for or against, really. That's why I'm thinking like this. Like,
not yet.
You can't. There are no citations. Citations are needed because they don't exist.
Not yet, at least. We'll find out, perhaps.
Oh, also, first death of the run.
Oh, hooray!
I've pointed out each other time, but it happened a while ago. And... All right, and here's time for cuteness overload. Ready? Aww. And look at her, she's cleaning herself up. Oh, he's cleaning himself up, because I pointed out last time, Pura's a guy.
Nice.
But even now, I just defaulted back to, oh, Coco, that means she's female.
Well, it's just like, you know, it's a feline.
Feline. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ah. All dogs are boys, all cats are girls.
I never said that.
Never mind. Boneyard!
Oh, look, it's Australia. Shaped like a lava pit.
Oh, yeah.
Nice sneeze.
I tried to avoid that.
Oh, we got good cutscene.
Tiny has a hat now.
That's a hat?
Yeah, he's wearing a hat.
I thought he was just like his hair with
No,
like a weird bun at the back.
You'll see in the boss fight, his model has a hat. No, she still represents all the same things as she used to. But he's got a new hat. I didn't nail that Lisa Simpson quote, but the Waylon Smithers punchline was there. Oh, look!
Oh, it's dinosaur time.
It's a Triceratops that were always notoriously herbivore, so I guess this one must just be very territorial that it's chasing down Crash.
Yeah. That's probably the reason.
Yeah. Actually, Sweeting, if you're watching this, is that a Triceratops, or is it is it closer to a different type of ceratopsid dinosaur?
You'll have to ask him later and put his answer on screen.
Well, there's no way of knowing without... Actually, no, I'll just send him a picture of the dinosaur and be like, what is? And then if he replies, I'll add the image to the episode. Because otherwise, if I wait for this episode to air for him to hear back from him, there's absolutely no way I'll be able to edit it in time. I'll just have to edit it into, what, Crash Bash by that point? Alright. So these were the boulder levels, but they have forward bits. Which are revolutionary in the sense that every other level does this. Don't ask me what that anime is meant to be. It's just a human being.
Ah, yes, the most dreaded of all foes.
Especially when the dinosaurs were around.
Yeah.
The human. The greatest enemy of all is man.
Dun dun dun. I mean, it just looks like one of the scientists.
It is. It's a lab assistant.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's meant to be.
God damn it! I could have been anywhere in time, and they made me fucking lurk in an
me
oily
swamp man.
Swamp man.
All right.
God
So,
damn it.
so the next level in Warp Room 1 is also a vehicle segment, which is a part of the reason why some people don't like this game for its vehicle segments, because of the first 5 levels in the first Warp Room, only 2 are classic Crash platforming levels. So people tend to think that, well, with good reason, that, you know, they just prefer to do the cool platforming, so the vehicle segments ruin this game. I don't think they ruin them. I think after 3 games, especially within 2 years of each other, you gotta spice it up. And I think this game does a good job of that. However, if you may have noticed, this entire level, not a single bottomless pit. So a lot of the crucial, precise platforming that the franchise is known for, kind of gone. And
Well, I mean, you have lava pits though.
yeah, but
and
those are
a similar purpose.
yeah, but they're really it's not the same.
But how many times did you, like, generally would fall into a pit in Crash? Like, they fulfill basically the same purpose.
Well, my thing is
The only difference is that if you have an Aku Aku, you can survive a lava pit.
well, it's also the lava pits are just easier to get over because you can sort of walk on them for a bit and then jump over without getting damaged. It's like that, see?
Right.
Making sure, okay, it does count. Whereas pits, like, if you fall in, like, you're done. I don't know, there are other things with the level design in this that I think it's much easier. There's very few times where you're gonna be jumping around. Like with Crash 1, there was the majority of those levels, especially late game, are more bottomless pit than platform. The very precise, like, there's a lot of precise jumps you gotta make, very skill heavy. Whereas with this, it's not quite the same thing. I don't know. I think it's just a matter of preference at the end of the day, because the levels in this are more varied than they have been in any other Crash game up to this point. So there's a lot more variety in terms of both gameplay and just the look of it. And here we've got pirate levels with Coco on a jet ski, which I alluded to earlier. Oh boy. See, this is where the true test is gonna come for me. I don't think I've ever missed that box in this game, but the jet ski in the trilogy, of all of the vehicle segments, that is the one that is the most different. And yeah, you can tell I've still got. I'm gonna try and use I've still got that on the brain, so it's very difficult for me to do this.
That.
Yeah.
That.
I've still got the way the jet ski works in the trilogy on the brain.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
In the remakes. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Got it. Okay.
Wow.
Come on.
He did it.
Well, one thing I will say, and I hope we never see this, but this game has so many more unique and varied death animations. And I love that. So like that pirate guy, if I'd walked up to him and like just ran into him essentially, oops, he would have, both the jet ski and the boat would have broken, and he would have used his oar to like basically slam down on top of Coco and plunge her to the depths of the ocean.
Wow.
And that's just funny to me. Whoops.
Oh.
Oh no.
And now she's just chilling.
She's stuck there now. Yeah, so there's a lot more character in the later games, but I think in terms of gameplay, the earlier games stand out more than Warped does. I don't know.
Which is interesting because taking a look at the
oh boy,
the file sizes for both
oh dear,
Crash Bandicoot 2 and Crash Bandicoot 3. Crash Bandicoot 3 is actually a lot smaller. So they must be doing.
Well, the gameplay was shorter for. Oh, that was bad. Apparently, you can sharp turn in this game. I've never once.
Is it one of the triggers?
I don't know. I've never once sharp turned. I don't know how to do it. It didn't return in the trilogy, so.
Well.
Look at the jet ski controls. Actually, we've got the manual.
Oh, that's true. We had the real manual.
Finally.
Excuse me.
You didn't obstruct me at all there.
Well, I had to get the manual, which was over the other
so
side.
I've seen people sharp turn. I know it can be done. Oops, I'm just wondering if it's an advanced technique that was discovered accidentally.
Hanging, swimming, jet ski, directional buttons.
Yep, that's what I'm using.
Hard turn left or right.
Thank God. Anything else?
It just says directional buttons / left stick left or right.
Yeah,
hard turn left or
that
right.
would be that's just for regular turning, but I know there's a way you can stop on a dime and swivel.
There's accelerate.
Uh-huh.
There's flip.
Uh-huh.
And there's hard turn left or right.
Okay, well I guess I'm just lost then.
Jet sub.
Yeah, there's nothing else. Never mind.
Motorcycle.
No, it's abandon that entire line of questioning then. It's pointless.
You can hang.
And look at this, once you get the 5 crystals, the first 5 crystals, the only thing you can access in the entire game is the first boss fight, because none of the other levels are open to you either. You're stuck here until you beat this boss, and I find that great. Tiny Tiger.
Have you noticed there's a whole comic book in here?
No, I haven't read this before.
Having defeated Dr. N. Cortex and blown his Cortex Vortex, patent pending,
Wow.
across the sky, Crash, his sister Coco, and their witch doctor guardian, Uka Uka. What?
The Cortex Vortex isn't the space station. The Cortex Vortex is the mind control device he wants to use to power the crystals. So he had to patent a mind control device that he was going to use to enslave the entire human population.
Well, that's why it's patent pending.
Look, it's a hat.
Oh, yeah.
And we're also in the Roman Colosseum for this boss fight.
Crash's sister Coco and their witch doctor guardian, Uka celebrated saving the world once again. But as we return, huge pieces of Cortex's exploding space station hurtle towards Earth. Chunks of metal crash into a tropical mountain. Kaboom!
Kaboom!
Now an even...
Lions!
Oh, God.
This was always the hardest to avoid as a kid. Ah, dear. I gotta stop. I've gotta stop trying to be fancy. I gotta do what I did as a kid. The strategy I used then, because it's much easier. And it's not the cheese strategy that everyone uses. The glitch one that the developers didn't intend for you to use.
Right.
Gotta do this and just. Oh, okay. I guess not then. I definitely clicked the button. You probably hear it in the playback, but.
Now an even uglier enemy
Tiny
looms.
killed me twice. The first boss of the
you
game has killed me.
suck.
The bosses in this game are generally better than the previous games in the trilogy. I'll give them that. All right, that's much better. Oh, watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice.
The pitchfork doesn't affect you when you spin him and he's landing.
Clancy Brown still did Neocortex.
And Uka Uka.
Doesn't say here.
Oh well, he does.
Engine and Tiny the Tiger, Brendan O'Brien. Entropy, Michael Ensign. Dingo Dale, William Hootkins.
Hootkins. I wonder if he's Australian.
William Hootkins.
Yeah.
And Aku, Mel Winkler.
Rest in peace, Mel Winkler.
Oh, did he die?
Recently, yeah.
And that's the manual.
That's the whole manual in the span of completing one boss fight.
I mean, there was more, obviously, but I didn't go over it.
I remember reading the CTR manual a bunch as a kid. Because that was... I don't know, it was just amusing to read that as a kid. There was a lot of fun stuff in there, like how the items worked. Like, there was a lot of good flavor text in there.
What are you saying, Aku?
Like, he's telling us that we can save our game and that we have access to the next area of the time machine.
Remember, Crash, to save your game frequently, and not to scratch up your PS1 disc.
Well, this PS2 is, like, very quiet, especially when compared to our old system.
Because it's a fat boy, it has room to breathe.
Big, bulky dude. Alright, here I am, Warprum 2.
Even though it is bulky, I do prefer the aesthetics of the fat PS2.
I think I do as well, actually. I mean, the Slim is better for storage, but...
Like, this one you can stand up and be more reasonably confident it's going to stay up, you know?
I see the little legs here, little stands.
Yeah.
You can stand this upright.
They're moving back.
And I think from what I remember, you can twist the PlayStation logo to... Maybe not in all versions of the thing, but... If you've got it standing upright, obviously the logo isn't aligned.
Oh, there we go.
So you can twist it to make it...
Aha!
I
have done it.
I wasn't delusional.
I have done it. I have successfully turned the logo.
Neat. Okay, so this is the introduction. This is the reintroduction of the reinforced crates, which in the previous game you could break with a regular body slam, but in this game you need the power up.
Wow.
And this is a part of the thing. Okay, so we get power-ups for beating bosses in this game. But, and here's where my gripes with this game lie. They rarely give you any like unique platforming challenges surrounding the power-ups. Like occasionally you have to double jump over this pit, or like enemies that you have to bazooka. But they could have done so much more in terms of level design. Like they could give you the reinforced crates in the first 5 levels, and you're just unable to break them until you get the body slam later, and then you go back and you can get the gem. Because remember, in the second game, a lot of the box gems are locked away before you understand how to get them. You have to work out how to get. So like this secret unlocks this gem, which unlocks this path, which means this can happen. You know. And that's sort of lost in this game.
Yeah, but wouldn't that lead to like repetitive backtracking?
It's not. It doesn't. Well, it's not repetitive backtracking because it's.
Well, you're gonna have to play through a whole level just to get a few more boxes.
Think about in the previous game. There's little repetitive backtracking. In fact, there's none at all once you learn how all the secrets work. So it's that kind of puzzle element that really adds a lot to the regular platforming. It's something that no other game has, and I've always liked how Crash 2 does it, whereas this game sort of abandons it. And even the secrets that are there, there's absolutely no way a rational person could work it out on their own, apart from just doing it like accidentally. Because at least in the previous game, each secret has like, there's always a little hint or two, or something that doesn't look right, or something that's out of place, or something that's different than the rest of the game. I think the one that's probably the hardest to get is the purple gem, because you have to walk up a stack of nitro crates to a staircase. But those are the only nitro crates in the entire game that don't bounce. And also they're stacked up in a sequence where like it just looks super unnatural if you consider it on their own. So once you put those two pieces of information together, you investigate, and you know there's a purple gem in the level already because there's the icon above the level gate. And knowing that, you investigate various aspects of the level, and when you figure that out, you feel like a genius. And the game didn't hold your hand or anything, it just gave you the information and let you work it out for yourself. In this game, I mean, we'll get to the secrets when we come to them, obviously, but they're nowhere near as clever or intricate, in my opinion. Like, if you don't care about that stuff only really matters to a completionist. So if you don't care about that stuff and just want to play the game, it's not going to affect you.
Right.
But for me, I prefer to play Crash. I prefer the way Crash 2 is designed over this game. And that jump always scared me. Look at the amount of Wumpa Fruit this bonus round gives you.
133.
Yikes! That's more than the box tally for the majority of these levels. Except maybe like Feature Frenzy.
Well, it is for this one. And there we go. We're a quarter of the way through the game.
Oh, don't do this.
What?
The life counter?
Yeah, obviously. Oh, we're technically 86% of the way through the game.
Man, I just can't keep an Aku Aku mask in this level. Or this game.
Or this game.
Oh,
Yeah.
no!
Oh, look, we get to get the... Oh.
No, no.
Why do you die from that?
There's no consent.
How do you die from that, though?
Because
Crash
frog
isn't dead.
venom.
But he doesn't look dead.
Crash dies if his shoe touches an armadillo that can't attack back. Obviously, getting kissed by a frog is going to have the same
Getting kissed is
effect.
different from getting touched by a strange animal.
It's arguably the exact same thing.
Because just a prince, that's like...
But
been
he
turned
was a
into
strange
frog.
animal. Man, how many princes exist in this world if all of these turned into frogs, rather?
It's pretty extreme.
At that point, like...
There's a lot of...
At that point, it's no fun being a prince, because there's so many of them.
There's a lot of Danegelds and a lot of provinces. And...
There's a lot of European families marrying each other off.
Yeah, you have the Habsburgs. The most infamous of the incestuous families.
You're going to have to tell me about them, because I didn't take modern history, so I don't know about them.
Well, essentially, the Habsburgs...
Did I pick the right history?
No.
Damn it.
Because that's more medieval history. Well, not really medieval, but like...
See, I can't remember. I did history
Right.
in year 7 and year 9 and 10, because we had to. I can't remember if medieval was covered by ancient or modern. I don't remember where the cutoff is. I think the cutoff was Rome. When Rome fell, that's the end of ancient history, and then modern history began.
That sounds about right.
So it would be modern if it's medieval. So I did get it right. You lied to me.
There's different definitions. There's some who say that modern history might start around more the turn of the 20th century.
Right.
Or...
When we invented the printing press.
Yeah. There's,
What?
I mean, and
I didn't
you know,
press that fast enough.
obviously, you didn't play the video game well enough, so
I
you
didn't
get the punish.
I didn't max out my Chaos Emeralds.
Like, archaeologists define the present as sometime in the 1950s.
Okay.
Because of the fact that, you know, nuclear bomb testing made carbon dating beyond that point,
Oh dear.
like, not very accurate.
Thanks, Oppenheimer.
Yeah, thanks.
That was the worst thing you ever did to humanity. Anyway, so tell me about this incestuous royal family.
Oh, well, I know generally about them. Essentially, they're infamous for basically marrying to every royal family in Europe.
Every single one?
Pretty much every single one. And they also married a lot within their family, because, of course, in those times,
dear.
there was a lot of obsession with
The
keeping the
British royal family.
keeping the
Bloodline pure?
the bloodline pure.
Oh no, Malfoy.
And to basically, make sure the power stayed in the family. And at some point in their lineage, the Habsburgs developed a very notable pointy chin and strange big lips.
Oh no.
You can see it on the royal. I forget the number, but it's one of the royal Emperor Charles's of the Habsburgs.
Come back.
And he was around. He was.
What?
He was around the time of Henry VIII, and
Was one of his daughters married off to Henry VIII?
no, but originally,
I got lucky.
originally one of Henry VIII's daughters was going to be,
But
then
the other way.
yeah, the other way. It was going to be married to him, to Charles, but then after, essentially, you know how like England and France have like the centuries old
The
rivalry.
feud, yeah.
It's basically a thing where it's like you want to have it on your resume as like a king of England that you invaded France sort of thing. And so he wanted to invade France with the help of Charles on the other side, since he was in Spain. So basically to crush them from both
So this,
France
is,
from both
this is a
sides.
Spanish monarchy.
Yes, basically. To crush them from both, crush the French from two.
A war on two fronts.
Yeah, war on two fronts, exactly. The first year, Henry went and fought the French. Wasn't ultimately successful, and Charles didn't show up.
Oh dear.
Charles said, I would be there next year, right?
And
Next year,
Let me guess.
the same thing happens.
No Charles.
Henry, in the third year, decides, screw this, I'm not going to go. And then,
Is that the year Charles showed up?
yeah.
Oh, this is a romantic comedy.
But the thing
This is so sad.
I forget
You
the-
both know you're right for each other. Just acknowledge each other.
I don't think so.
You get Charles with like a boombox outside the Buckingham Palace.
No, he has those cards with like things written on them, like saying, "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you the first 2 years of the French War.
You complete me.
You complete me." Also, I starred in The Walking Dead eventually.
What?
Well, in Love Actually,
Oh, that guy.
that guy
I
who
wasn't
played
aware
Rick
of that.
Grimes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know either. I've never seen Love Actually or Breaking Bad. Walking Dead.
Neither have I, but I do know that.
Eh.
And
Get
he's
outta
a British
here.
actor, I believe.
Well, he would be.
Yeah.
If he's in Love Actually.
But yeah, then Charles shows up in France. I forget the name of the battle, but not only does he like whoop their asses,
Oh dear.
he also captures the French king.
Oh no. Join the incest family.
Yeah, and they had to, and so Henry and Charles had an agreement before where it was like, hey, so you did a pretty good job, Charles. Can I have the French throne like we agreed upon
dear.
beforehand?
Hang on, just before we continue, we forgot to do this.
Oh,
This is Arabia,
oh yeah.
and this is a 1950s biker like highway thing. Okay, continue.
Tonal dissonance.
Well, we
Am
gotta-
I right?
You have to say what the level themes are.
Yeah.
Go on.
So Henry goes, "Hey, Charles, buddy, my dude, my guy, can I please have the
Our agreement.
can you please honor our agreement
Oh,
and give me the
no.
good start,
You know how...
French
No
throne."
take-backsies.
Yeah, and Charles like, you know what?
Oh no.
I have the king.
My king, my
I beat
rules.
them. Yeah, I have him under my thumb. He's mine now. And by the way, I also don't want to marry your daughter.
Wow.
So
I'd prefer to marry my own.
yeah. So yeah. And pretty much beyond that point, Henry was never had any success in France.
He never had any success in France to begin with.
Well, yes, but it basically that was like the end of it.
Right.
He tried when he was like really old.
He tried to get one last go.
Yeah, he went to France.
Damn it.
And it was ludicrously expensive. And
Damn you!
they captured, I believe,
Fat
it was,
ass out of the way.
second place.
Well, I got the jam at least.
They captured a place called Boulogne in France. They ended up giving it back to the French like a few years later. But it was like the expedition was like stupidly expensive, and it meant Britain was what's the word? The British public were
Outraged?
well, I don't know in that particular sense, but were on the hook for basically paying the bill for quite a few years.
If knowing what I know about the British, that would make them outraged.
Yeah.
Why should my tax dollars... Why should my tax pounds have to go to this?
My tax pounds.
My tax pounds. So you never hear that phrase outside of America.
My tax dollars.
Tax dollars, yeah. That's where the Americans popularized having each person having like one thing they didn't want to spend tax on. Anyway, to get the crystal in this level, you got to come first place in the race.
Well, isn't that just peachy? Dingo's Diner.
Dingo's Diner, which is going to make a return in Crash 4.
An Australian-themed diner in the
Man, I love that they took a road sign in this game and made it a key part of Dingo Doll's backstory in the upcoming Crash 4. Because the reason he's playable is because his diner blows up and then he presumably goes on a Liam Neeson-esque revenge story. Oh man, now I want Taken, but it's Dingo Dial, and someone took the deed to his diner, and he wants it back. Why did I put that thought in my head? Now that's all I want.
I don't know. Why did you put that thought in your head?
Because I'm too good at writing stories.
Don't talk yourself up too much.